Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Xiong. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Comrade Li Keqiang, while resting in Shanghai in recent days, experienced a sudden heart attack on October 26, and after all-out efforts to revive him failed, died in Shanghai at 10 minutes past midnight on October 27th. Former Chinese Premier Li Keqiang has passed away in Shanghai at the age of 68 due to an unexpected heart attack. The Chinese authorities released the aforementioned statement to the public 8 hours after his passing. According to an anonymous source in the medical field in Shanghai, Li Keqiang had arrived in the city the day before, staying at the East Suburb Hotel, and he suffered a heart attack while swimming. This news is incredibly concise, yet the impact is profound. When people first heard about it, their immediate reaction was one of disbelief. While it's not uncommon for older individuals to have heart conditions or even pass away from a sudden heart attack, however, when it happens to someone like Li Keqiang, it is indeed quite unusual. Currently, there are at least 3 suspicious points regarding this matter. First, it defies common sense. Chinese Communist Party leaders, especially individuals like Li Keqiang, who previously held the position of the second highest ranking official at the national level, typically receive top-notch healthcare. They have dedicated medical teams, and even after leaving their positions, these privileges are not usually revoked. If Li Keqiang had a heart condition, such illnesses usually come with a long medical history, so it's highly unlikely that his healthcare team was unaware and the preventive measures would have been in place. Even for an ordinary person in today's advanced medical environment, if they are aware of a heart condition and manage it with regular medication, the chances of sudden death from a heart attack are minimal. Myocardial infarctions have an 8-minute window for effective intervention. If assistance is provided within this time frame, it can significantly increase the chances of survival. It's highly unlikely for someone to pass away so quickly under these circumstances. As a former premier, Li Keqiang would have been accompanied by bodyguards and healthcare professionals wherever he went. Furthermore, he was staying at the East Suburb Hotel in Shanghai, a 5-star establishment with presumably well-equipped medical facilities. So, it's reasonable to assume that even in the event of a sudden heart attack, there would have been immediate assistance and the necessary medical equipment on hand. Given these considerations, it's quite challenging to believe that he passed away so abruptly. Second, the incident happened abruptly. Li Keqiang was touring Dunhuang in Gansu province in September, and based on the news reports from that time, he appeared to be in excellent health, showing no signs of a person with a serious heart condition. When we reviewed the news over the years, there have been numerous high-ranking Chinese Communist Party leaders with heart conditions, but very few have died suddenly from a heart attack. In the past 2 decades, such occurrences have been exceedingly rare. To illustrate, Jiang Zemin had heart problems but lived to be 96, whereas Li Keqiang was only 68. Among the senior figures in the Chinese Communist Party, even among Central Committee members, it is uncommon to find individuals who passed away at the age of 68. Within the ranks of the Chinese Communist Party's leadership, the last leader to succumb to a heart condition was Hu Yaobang. However, even in his case, it wasn't an abrupt death. From the onset of his illness to his passing, there was an 8-day duration. On April 8, 1989, during a political bureau meeting, Hu Yaobang suffered a heart attack and was promptly hospitalized for treatment. It was only on April 15th when extensive rupture in his chest blood vessels occurred, leading to a myocardial infarction and his subsequent demise. Li Keqiang, being a retired leader with no active responsibilities, not attending meetings or participating in political struggles, should have been in a much better health condition than Hu Yaobang. So, how can his death be attributed to a simple sudden event? Thirdly, there is something peculiar about the way this was reported. In China, when high-ranking officials, especially those at the national level, pass away, official announcements are typically made with a significant time delay. The authorities often take their time to set the right tone and prepare statements before releasing the news. Historically, in case of senior Chinese Communist Party leaders passing away, it has been foreign media that initially reports the news, with domestic media following suit, and there is usually a delay of at least 1 day, and sometimes even longer, before official confirmation. However, in the case of Li Keqiang's death, there was almost no delay. He passed away at 12:10 a.m. and just 8 hours later, all of China's official state media simultaneously released statements in the middle of the night. This rapid response gives the impression that the statements were prepared well in advance, waiting to be released at the crack of dawn. It's undeniably unusual. As is widely known, Li Keqiang was previously identified as the chosen successor by Hu Jintao. He not only shared the same hometown as Hu Jintao, but also had a remarkably similar life trajectory. Li Keqiang was born in 1955 in Hefei, Anhui Province, and he too belonged to the second-generation Reds. However, his father held a mid-level position within the CCP. His father's name was Li Fengshan, and he had previously served as a county head of Fengyang County in Anhui Province. During Li Keqiang's high school years, they coincided with the Cultural Revolution, and he was dispatched to his father's domain in Fengyang County. There, he became a young person relocated to the countryside and even served as the party branch secretary for a production brigade. Following the reinstatement of the college entrance examination, aka Gaokao system, Li Keqiang secured his place at Peking University's law school through legitimate means, having successfully passed the Gaokao. This stands in stark contrast to Xi Jinping, who relied on family connection or entered the university through the work-study route. Consequently, there are fundamental distinctions in their educational backgrounds. During his time at Peking University, Li Keqiang was mentored by the renowned economist Li Yining, which means he received professional training in economics. Additionally, Li Keqiang possessed a relatively high proficiency in foreign languages, particularly English, enabling him to engage in fluent communications with foreigners. His wife, Chang Hong, is a professor in the English department at the Capital University of Economics and Business. Li Keqiang also holds a PhD in economics, and his doctoral thesis titled "The Tripartite Structure of China's Economy" was published in the 3rd issue of Chinese Social Science in 1991. This thesis earned him the prestigious Sun Yefang Economic Science Award, China's highest honor in the field of economics. While there have been questions about whether the award was bestowed on him later in his career, it is a fact that Li Keqiang is a formally trained economist. This distinguishes him from individuals like Xi Jinping, whose educational background is limited to elementary schooling and who may struggle with recognizing common words. Following his graduation from Peking University, Li Keqiang took on a role within the university's Youth League Committee. In a short span, he transitioned into the Central Committee of the Communist Youth League, coinciding with Hu Jintao's tenure as the Youth League's secretary. This marked the beginning of their connection. In 1985, under the leadership of the then General Secretary of the CCP, Hu Yaobang, a youth delegation was dispatched to Japan. This delegation was headed by Hu Jintao, with Li Keqiang serving as his deputy. Hu Jintao's remarkable rise, propelled by his association with Deng Xiaoping, created opportunities for Li Keqiang, who was aligned with the same political faction. In 1993, Li Keqiang assumed the role of first secretary of the Secretariat of the Communist Youth League, effectively mirroring the career path of Hu Jintao. From 1997 onwards, with the guidance of Hu Jintao, Li Keqiang was gradually placed in leadership roles in different provinces, including serving as the governor and later the party secretary of Henan province and as the party secretary of Liaoning province. It's clear that Hu Jintao intended to prepare him as a potential successor. However, the Jiang Zemin faction remained influential and they were hesitant to allow the Youth League faction to which Li Keqiang belonged to take the lead. As a result, a compromise was reached, and Xi Jinping, who held no strong factional affiliations, emerged as the chosen successor. Li Keqiang had to settle for the role of premier, becoming the second in command. In October 2007, both he and Xi Jinping were elected to the Central Political Bureau, working together to facilitate the leadership transition. Ultimately, in 2012, Xi Jinping smoothly assumed the presidency and Li Keqiang took on the role of premier. Due to his economic background, Li Keqiang has often been characterized by Western media as a proponent of economic reform. In 2007, during his tenure as the party secretary of Liaoning province, he expressed his preference for monitoring economic trends through three specific indicators: railway freight volume, electricity consumption, and bank lending. These indicators are now commonly referred to as the Li Keqiang Index, underscoring his profound grasp of economic matters. Li Keqiang's policy approach emphasizes the pivotal role of the market. In 2013, he introduced the idea of reducing administrative approvals, followed by the streamlining, delegation, and regulation reform in 2015. In 2018, he furthered his agenda with the 6-1s reform. These initiatives all share a common goal: to simplify administrative process, empower the market, and reduce government intervention, commonly referred to as delegating power. Notably, Li Keqiang has displayed keen interest in fostering the internet industry's growth. With the introduction of the Internet Plus strategy, he's also been a strong advocate for innovation, championing mass entrepreneurship and innovation, while simultaneously unveiling the Made in China 2025 strategy for the manufacturing sector. To sum it up, Li Keqiang's fundamental approach to governance revolves around decentralizing authority and promoting market-oriented reforms. Although these actions do not address the core issues of the CCP's systemic reform, they are considered relatively positive in the context of Xi Jinping's regressive policies. Western media tends to hold a favorable view of Li Keqiang, recognizing him as one of the few high-ranking CCP officials with substantial economic expertise. Nevertheless, the CCP's historical track record of several decades demonstrates its reluctance to accommodate individuals who aim to bring about effective change. Regrettably, Li Keqiang's collision course with Xi Jinping, one of the most authoritarian leaders since Mao Zedong, makes a tragic outcome nearly unavoidable. Li Keqiang's decade-long tenure as a premier has earned him the title of the weakest premier in Chinese history, a statement supported by facts. He significantly lags behind his predecessor Wen Jiabao, both in terms of wielding power and exerting influence. The predominant reason for this phenomenon can be attributed to Xi Jinping. Although Xi Jinping himself may lack virtue and talent, he has thoroughly grasped the weakness of the CCP system. He has pushed the power struggle to its extreme, utilizing anti-corruption measures to serve his objectives of consolidating power. Methodically, he has dismantled various factions that once held sway within the CCP, Xi Jinping's successful pursuit of authoritarianism can be directly linked to the substantial constraints and internal divisions that afflicted the previous CCP faction, such as the Jiang faction, Youth League faction, and the Red Second Generation faction. These factors have enabled Xi Jinping, a leader known for his ruthless and unconventional tactics, to employ strategies akin to those of Mao Zedong, pitting one group against another and systematically removing his adversaries. Xi Jinping's willingness to challenge and dismantle the party's internal unwritten rules, as well as his ruthless approach, can be traced back to his earlier experiences. He was perceived as an underachiever and faced doubts about his potential before assuming office. His path to leadership was not without obstacles, as he narrowly avoided a political coup orchestrated by figures like Bo Xilai and Zhou Yongkang during his succession preparations. Without the intervention of Hu Jintao and Wen Jiabao, who removed Bo Xilai from the picture, Xi Jinping's seamless transition to power would have been uncertain. In this context of insecurity, it's easier to comprehend his persistent focus on power struggles and the sometimes unscrupulous methods he used to consolidate his authority. From Xi Jinping's perspective, the safest approach is to eliminate all adversaries, whether they are in the limelight or working behind the scenes. In this scenario, Li Keqiang's background as an intellectual leaves him at a considerable disadvantage when it comes to political maneuvering compared to Xi Jinping. In fact, one might argue that based on Li Keqiang's performance, he had little foresight regarding Xi Jinping's strategies and goals in the realm of power struggles. Li Keqiang's political journey was relatively smooth and protected thanks to the patronage and grooming of Hu Jintao, along with apparent support from the Youth League faction. It appears that prior to taking the reins of power, Li Keqiang lacked a substantial awareness of potential crisis and didn't possess the necessary political savvy. For a politician, especially within an authoritarian system, understanding the intricacies of power dynamics can be more critical than expertise in governance. Li Keqiang consistently yielded ground while Xi Jinping advanced relentlessly. Xi Jinping employed various party leadership groups to systematically diminish the functions of the State Council, effectively reducing Li Keqiang to a symbolic figure. A particularly noteworthy development was the investigation and the public scrutiny of Yang Jing, Li Keqiang's chief secretary and the former secretary general of the State Council's General Office. Xi Jinping employed familiar anti-corruption tactics, serving both as a public warning and a means of pressuring Li Keqiang. Despite holding the highest position among the Youth League faction and wielding considerable influence, Li Keqiang failed to mount a significant counter-offensive, allowing the faction to crumble. In the arena of power struggle, he lagged significantly behind the relentless Xi Jinping, ultimately sealing his fate of losing power. Of course, it's important to clarify that Li Keqiang did attempt some resistance, although these efforts were notably weak and belated. Rather than significantly challenging Xi Jinping, they actually expedited Xi Jinping's campaign to undermine Li Keqiang. An illustrative moment occurred on February 25, 2021, when Xi Jinping convened the National Conference on Poverty Alleviation and declared that China had successfully eradicated poverty for its entire rural population of 99 million. However, in May 2020, Li Keqiang openly stated to reporters that approximately 600 million Chinese citizens earned a monthly income of less than 1,000 yuan, which is roughly equivalent to less than $170. This candid revelation was quite surprising, considering that many knew Xi Jinping's claims of poverty alleviation were exaggerated. Yet, among China's leadership, only Li Keqiang had the courage to publicly expose this falsehood and challenge Xi Jinping. In August 2022, during his visit to Shenzhen, Li Keqiang made a significant statement. He declared, "Reform and the policy of opening up will not come to a halt, and we won't turn back the clock on progress, just as rivers like the Yangtze and the Yellow Rivers won't change their course. Subsequently, he visited the Lianhua mountain to pay his respect to Deng Xiaoping and encouraged a revival of the pioneering spirit in advancing further reforms and opening up. Since Xi Jinping assumed power, there has been a consistent de-emphasis on the legacy of Deng Xiaoping and even the concept of reform and opening up. Li Keqiang's remarks in Shenzhen can be seen as a direct challenge to Xi Jinping, likely drawing his ire. As a result, Li Keqiang's activities and speeches in Shenzhen were censored and removed from public view by the Central Propaganda Department and the Cyberspace Administration of China. This episode highlights a unique aspect of authoritarian politics, where the speeches of the country's premier, ostensibly the second highest ranking official, were completely banned across the internet. What's even more significant is that on March 3rd of this year, just 2 days before his departure as the premier, during his final farewell address to the State Council staff, Li Keqiang uttered a phrase that caught attention. 人在做，天在看，苍天有眼, which roughly translates to one's actions are observed by the heavens. Heaven has eyes. These words were delivered with a strong tone and carried veiled implications. When foreign media reported this, it led to various speculations. While outsiders may view Li Keqiang's words as subtle truths or a reiteration of established positions, it's a different story for Xi Jinping. Given Xi's tendency to respond assertively and his sensitivity, Li Keqiang's almost public challenge to his leadership authority amounted to a direct provocation. As a result, Xi Jinping was unlikely to overlook this matter. Despite Li Keqiang's retirement from his position, some of his former associates, including Sun Zhigang, who now serves as the Guizhou Provincial Party Secretary, continue to undergo investigations. Several officials who were previously appointed by Li Keqiang, both from his time in Henan and during his tenure in Liaoning, have faced scrutiny one by one. This suggests that Xi Jinping has no intention of granting Li Keqiang a peaceful retirement. More recently, Xi Jinping has initiated an investigation into the director of the National Tobacco Corporation, and there are reports linking this investigation to Li Keqiang's brother. Given Xi Jinping's disposition and his approach to these situations, it was expected that Li Keqiang would face challenges after upsetting him. However, what caught everyone off guard was the speed and abruptness with which these events unfolded. In the upcoming episode, I will provide an analysis of the obituary for Li Keqiang. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, be well.